I hope that I got your speech translated very well, because you said something very essential. I think you said everything was essential. But at least there was something about that organizations cannot change, but people can change. And I think that's what we all are struggling with. And I think that you as a country are definitely going to be expert in changes, because over the coming years, I'm sure that this is the country that will experience more changes than any country in the world. But anyway, I would like to begin with to tell you that there's been this, we all, as Maria said, we love evidence-based, we love surveys in BM. And just to tell you how hard it actually is to get people to change, and that's what it's all about, is that recently there was this survey made that only 1 out of 7 people will change their lives, even that they were told that within 2 years they'll probably lose their life. You know, they were not able to change the way they lived, even that this is the most critical answer anybody can get, is that you're extremely ill and you have to change a lot of ways you live, but not even that we are capable of doing. So I just think it gives us a bit of perspective in terms of going to work every day and having to change. I mean, why should I? Why should I change? I mean, we're doing pretty well. So tell me, explain to me, let me know exactly what it means to me. And I think that's some of the challenges we are facing. And that's why one-way communication from top management is no longer enough. It probably has not ever been. But at least the latest year we have seen, and that's also what the survey shows, that it's not enough at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of exercise to start with, because otherwise you're going to be way too tired over the next hour. So could you please fold your hands in front of you? You have done it already? Mm? This is just to give you an idea about how hard it is to change. So I guess everybody has the same thumb on top. Do you all have the same thumb on top of your hands? Yes? Are you all alike in Greece? No. Oh, I'm glad. You're different. Okay, that's good. Anyway, just unfold your hands and do it the other way around, having the other thumb on top. How does that feel? Strange. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. This is just a very, very simple exercise to show you how very difficult it is for any human beings to do something differently. And you're laughing now, but it's a very simple thing. And actually, I will provoke you that by the end of this discussions, I really want you to think about what are you going to change already tomorrow. Because we tend to make big plans. We tend to think, well, I will have to discuss this with a lot of people. But it always starts with ourselves. It starts with the way we talk, whom we talk to, what we focus on. So please, everybody, before you leave this room, talk to the one sitting next to you, not now, but by the end. And yes, about what do you really want to change? Because I guess we all need to change, and we all want to change in some way. Okay, so let's take the first slide. You have already talked about the survey, Maria. Thank you very much, because I'm not very good with numbers, so this is going to be really interesting. But we did ask a bunch of HR and communications professionals in 11 countries. And I think that actually we asked them how good they are in their own opinion to go through successful and effective change. And of course, that's always going to be subjective. We know that. So we're always a bit cautious about how we use the survey. But it gave us some very significant opinions and results in exactly also what you were kind enough to translate to me, that there are some issues about the planning and there are some issues about engaging our employees. And that one-way communications from top management is not enough anymore. So let's see a little bit about what the survey said. What we asked about and how we define a strategic change is, I think that a lot of the changes, at least in this country, are externally imposed because you are forced into doing some kind of change. In your market, you might have to downsize, you might have to change strategic direction or whatever. But of course, we also see a lot of internally initiated change processes. And the internal ones are, of course, the ones that we try to do all the time in order for us to lead the changes and not having somebody else to come and tell us we need to change. So a lot of company has a challenge in changing all the time because the employees get sick of all the changes. And sometimes we're not good enough to follow up on the changes. And sometimes there's a new change before we actually enter the old change. So I think it's also a matter of getting the people and the organization and the leaders at all levels used to that there's going to be changes all the time. And how do we do that? I mean, how do we create an environment where we accept changes and where we actually maybe celebrate changes instead of thinking it as something to overcome? So we have looked at both these kinds of changes. And then we asked, the last 2 years, have you realized more or less changes? And actually the EMEA results were higher than the Greek results. That more companies had realized a lot of changes during the last 2 years. But I think that maybe it's because that there's a lot of changes to come in this country. Maybe that, I don't know exactly, because you're the experts here, but I guess you may be a little bit behind all the changes that we have had maybe in other parts of Europe. So that's at least what the respondents said to us. And then if you change, come again. But then we ask, are there more changes to come that you have already been through? And then the EMEA results was like 51%, but the Greek results was really significant higher than any other of the markets, that yes, you are facing more changes that you have already been through. So I guess you are sort of right in the middle of it and heading it in a significantly higher percentage than the rest of EMEA. And I guess that's not new for you guys because you know and you're in the middle of it. So if we just keep going a little bit, I would like to ask, what changes are your company facing?